does that say? We've got an experimental state that's just going to get more and more statistics, like you said,
Absolutely.
Darren. And that's the thing. We've got half of America bringing in these statistics by 2016,
And
which I think
we're a
you're
quarter.
coming.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
before
you've
we
got a
get into
show
that
next
one,
week. I understand about legalization, 2016. You know, in Arizona, right? I think something about that. No, you should shut me off. Sorry.
before we get into that topic, which we will be, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen. So,
Nice lead in. No, I don't know.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, I love you anyways. But yeah, so
Did you lose that one, Dave?
well, yeah, I fucking lost it. I was like, wait a minute,
lost
no, I was trying to. It's actually difficult having two people on at once too. I'd say, trying to steer everybody in the direction too, which is good to have this done first around. I'd say.
I like what you said about education, though. I mean, we got 2 years to educate, and that's absolutely the core of it.
Well,
You're
we
right.
have to educate.
Okay.
We have to educate, obviously, in every shape of the sense. But it's something that, again, we can't get, overly zealous. We can't be a fanatic. We just simply have to have the appropriate foot forward. We have to provide the actual information. We certainly can't, have a bunch of unfounded claims and say, well, it does this, 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 and this. And when it doesn't do those things, have it blow back in our face.
Listen, I think there's a video that's floating around that was shot by C-SPAN, which I never watch C-SPAN. I really don't. I mean, I think it's probably, and I worked in television. I know boring television. I came out of Christian television. I know boring television. So I actually saw this clip that I want to say it's at Moz News, and you can find it in their YouTube channel. But it's actually of Jared Polis, the
Colorado.
from Colorado, and you see him actually interviewing the head of the DEA, Michelle Leonhardt.
Yes.
Right?
And just giving her a new one. Absolutely.
Just tears her up. And the crux of it was, are all these other drugs, is heroin as bad as, is this worse than marijuana? Right? And he names off all these drugs. And she absolutely could not answer these questions. And as the head of the DEA, you would think that this individual would be able to sit there and answer these questions without hesitation.
It's hard when you're coming up with a lie each time.
Yeah, that's tough. That's not easy.
And
in front of all those people, too.
Absolutely. Folks, this is all great stuff. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wrap it up in this, our very first episode of the State of Cannabis. To all our listeners, thank you so much for downloading this show. And next week we will be discussing the potential large scale legalization in the U.S. coming in 2016. You're not going to want to miss that. That's an important one, and it's at our doorstep, folks. So if you're an activist, an advocate, or just somebody who really enjoys cannabis, you're going to want to hear that. So again, Darren Babin, Vice President of Phoenix Normal, and Kathy Inman, State Director for Normal in Arizona. Thank you both so much for coming on this show tonight.
Thanks, Dave.
And if you wouldn't mind, we'd love to be able to get in touch with you. So if you could tell our listeners how we can get involved in your organizations, how we can.
Anybody? I'm sorry, Darren. Go ahead, Darren.
Yeah,
Anybody can go to normalinarizona.org for all of our meetings and happenings. And otherwise, I know, Darren, do you have some other contacts for Phoenix?
Well, what I was going to say is if you guys are listening and are wanting to find out more about what we're doing with veterans, make sure you go to facebook.com/Arizona Veterans Assistance Committee. I know that's kind of long, but you can kind of keep a tab on us right there.
That's AVAC for short, right?
Exactly.
Excellent. And what about you, Kathy? Normalinarizona.org. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. Normal with no A, NORML, in Arizona, all spelled out, .org. We'd love to see you there or at one of our local meetings. We'll be at the Lost Leaf in Phoenix at 5th Street, just south of Roosevelt on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. We've got Hot Rock Super Joint in the house, and we hope you guys will come out. We're having a little fundraiser for Phoenix Normal. It's our 6th anniversary, and we'd love to see everyone there.
Excellent, excellent. And thanks again to our listeners. Again, we can be found at the cannabisradio.com. Again, cannabisradio.com. That's with a Z, not with an S. Folks, have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
The opinions expressed on this Cannabis Radio Network program are those of the guests and hosts, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Cannabis Radio Network. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without proper consent of the Cannabis Radio Network is prohibited.